Hey, good morning. So today we are going to try something different. So, if you've been following along, you know that I have been creating a concept video for my screenplay Intangible Shape of Home. And I've been doing this for a couple months now. And throughout those months, well, let me back up. I've been creating a concept video with AI tools using Kling AI and ChatGPT to imagine images for my script. And I will drop a link to the playlist of some work with me videos so you can catch up and see what I mean by that. And I'll also link the playlist to the final products of that, the concept videos. But over the I wanted to create a video where I'm showing you um, how I move and how I adapt to these changes that come out. Sometimes you need to work with a earlier version because the prompts that you have engineered aren't really vibing with the new versions of these products that come out. So come along with me. I'll show you how I iterate and use these products to create a concept video. It's going to be similar to some of the other videos that I've put out along these lines, but you'll see that I am adapting to new changes, and I'm also animating this time around. And most of my concept work for this script, I have used ChatGPT to create images, cinematic, photorealistic images, but I don't often animate them. So in this video, you're joining me as I actually animate, which is kind of fun. So what I'm doing here is adjusting a prompt that I have been using throughout my entire script. This is actually the last video, the final video that I'm making for my concept video series for the script. I have generated images for my full script now in the version that it was written. At this point, I've actually rewritten the script since creating this video. So once the full concept video is done after this final video, just know that the script has been reworked since then. And so there's a new version of the script that I have in my possession, but that's beside the point. So what I'm doing right now is I am reworking an old prompt that I have been using in a ChatGPT conversation throughout the rest of the concept video production. The reason I'm doing this is because ChatGPT has a max amount of questions that you can ask it in a conversation. So I reached the max and I had to start a new conversation at this point with the process that I was undergoing here. So I had to start a new conversation. There is a video that I put out not too long ago that is titled "I Fixed It." I fixed a lag issue. Go back and watch that one. That is where I find out that I've reached my max limit for the conversation, and I actually do have to start a new conversation. So I wanted to see if chat would remember our old conversation and see if it would carry over all of the information that I had fed it in that conversation about how I want the characters to look, the style of my concept video, the story, etc. Log into ChatGPT if you have an account and you haven't for a while. There have been some updates on memory. So now ChatGPT is able to remember conversations that you've had with it. And you can jump from conversation to conversation, and it should remember conversations that you've had with it in another thread. Than I'm receiving in this new conversation. I would also receive I would receive a storyboard format in the way that I requested more accurately in the old conversation. For example, I asked for several images at once in my old conversation, and chat. I don't know if it's an upgrade with ChatGPT, or if it's just jumping from this conversation to another conversation, like another thread. But they're not giving me a storyboard reply anymore. They're not. Chat is not giving me multiple images at once anymore with the same prompts that I used before. That would allow me to receive multiple images at once. So, that's just something that I observed. I tried to play around with the prompt a little bit to get it to react and perform the way that it used to, but you'll see throughout this video how I try to update the prompt, and it still doesn't really respond the way that I instructed it to. So as these new versions come out, there's progress that's made with these new versions, but they also backtrack a little bit in some areas. So so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of learning, hey, you're not really following the instructions that I expected you to from our past conversations. What's going on? How can I change this, etc. If you've been following my Work With Me videos on my Intangible Shape of Home concept video creation, you can see that I am definitely using a different process here. In the past conversation with my prompt, I was able to generate a list of scenes where then from that list of scenes I could ask it to depict whatever I wanted with those scenes written out in text. However, with the same prompt in this conversation, I'm not receiving a list of scenes written out in a description that I can just ask it to depict scene 12, for example. And if you follow my other videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I have shifted into doing with this new version of ChatGPT and this new conversation is that I am directly from my script pasting in each scene and asking it to depict from my script. I'm finding that character continuity is less accurate in this new conversation. So when they've updated the memory to remember the gist of your conversation from another thread, I'm wondering if they have considered the memory of continuity with an image. Yeah, little things I'm noticing here. I'm trying to speed up the process here by adding a command in my prompt to create several frames at once. Again, with this prompt that I have used in another conversation, it was able to produce several pictures at once. However, in this new conversation, it gave me some um, like one picture vertical frame that was separated into like a storyboard kind of montagey thing, but they weren't separate images. It's just not producing the same result as it did with my other conversation. So it's very interesting to see how the same prompt is creating a different result here with whatever changes happen on the back end. So I also noticed that it was kind of ignoring my aspect ratios. Now, as I'm playing this video back and editing it for YouTube, I noticed that I did make a typo when I was tweaking my ratio. So that might be why it decided to ignore after that. But before but before that error was made, it also ignored my initial aspect ratio. So, and as you can see, as I receive returns, the aspect ratios vary. So, it's probably just not, when these new versions come out, they need to be worked on. I'm sure in a future version, details like that will become more accurate. That's what I have noticed as these versions improve one after another. Details are improved. So I don't know. Right now, this version is ignoring stuff like the aspect ratio and continuity. Okay, ready to animate? All right, so we're gonna use Kling AI. I haven't opened up my Kling AI account in a while, and so I expect to see some upgrades, some new versioning. So let's jump in. All right, so we've got a video here, acclimating users to this new version of Kling AI. Looks like we're at 2.0 now, so this is new for me. Let's watch this video. Okay, so let's import our pictures from ChatGPT into Kling AI, like we have always done. See if there are any UI changes with this 2.0 upgrade. Navigate around. Looks like, yeah, I need to make sure that I am in animation. And once I'm in animation, I can upload my ChatGPT pictures as I usually do. The UI hasn't changed that much over here. And let's get started. Let's see what 2.0 can do. Also looks like with 2.0, I can't transition one picture into the next, which I do want to use with some of my pictures, especially the montage scenes. So I think I'm going to use a mixture of 2.0 and the old version. Remember, you can always toggle back and forth between versions. Like I said, each version has its pros and cons to it. Sure, there are improvements with new versions coming out, but you will find that for your purposes, your unique purposes, you might need to still use a previous version. My prompt failed to generate as it was written, so I had to revisit my prompt and find out why KlingAI didn't like it. It seems as though KlingAI has trouble differentiating between direction and literary content. So what I did was I took out the direction. My first direction was basically, hey, this is my script, right? And can you generate this into an image? Now, ChatGPT doesn't have any problem with separating, speaking directly to it with a direction versus the content that I'm asking it to analyze. However, Kling AI and the AI that it's using, well, it didn't like it. So I took out anything that had to do with a directive for it, and I just went ahead and pasted in content, which was directly from my script. It's taking me a while to figure out that you have to hold your cursor over the play button in order for the clip to play fully. It's not a click and let go play. It's a continuously hold your cursor over the play button. And if you navigate away, the clip will stop. So what I'm doing here is the same process as I have always done with Kling. With Kling 2.0 and the version that it's at right now. Now I'm not working with 2.0 right now. I'm working with 1.6, which is the old version, but still the UI has changed, and I think a few other things have changed, even with still using the version 1.6. So what I'm doing is I am importing my images from ChatGPT, but I'm also directly importing passages from my scripts into the prompt area. This is a differentiation than I used to do with my process. I used to write a unique prompt for each image. Yeah, you can check my other videos to see how I did it, but right now I'm directly just, you see my script on the screen. I'm copy and pasting the scene into the prompt. And since I used this same technique with my ChatGPT image generation process this time around by directly copying and pasting in scenes and asking it to depict those scenes in ChatGPT, the pictures correlate directly with each scene. So I can more directly tell Kling AI, hey, this is an image of scene A, and this is an image of scene B, and it will describe for Kling AI what scene is what. And I'm not giving it any extra directives. Like I said before, Kling AI seems to not like the mixture of directives and content, but just placing one scene after another, it understands and can analyze that text and how it correlates with the images that I'm giving it, and it does a pretty good job when I do that. Here's where I utilize the newest version 2.0. So I have this scene where I don't need it to transition into another scene. I only want to animate one frame. So I can use the latest version 2.0 to achieve this effect. I kind of want to try it out, see how much better it is. So here we're going to try it out for the first time here with 2.0. It's going to cost 200 credits. 1.3 costs about 70 credits per generation, so this one's 200. Let's see how it goes. I'm popping back into ChatGPT real quick because I want to generate a few more images that I don't actually have to work with. So here we go. So I've had time to cook myself dinner during all of the generation. So this video's cut down, of course, sped up. I would pause sometimes while recording my screen during generation. So when either ChatGPT or Kling AI is generating an image or an animation, I'll pause my screen, go cook some dinner, come back, or I'll still record so you get a chance to see how long it takes for something to generate. And I do that sometimes, and in post I will either speed it up or allow you guys to see and get a feel for how long it takes. So I am around this time of the video, I'm editing it down, pausing, speeding up, and so we have been working from breakfast to dinner. I was eating breakfast when we started, and I went and cooked dinner during all of these pauses, and now I'm back. It is dinner time, so it gives you an idea of how long this has been taking, and we still have more to go. After we generate all of these animations, what do we do next? We go to InVideo.AI, jump over there, use that tool to edit a video together. So stay tuned, keep working with me. Here we are in InVideo. So I clicked use my own script. You know the drill. We're going to copy and paste my script in here, and it'll generate a video that we will edit after it generates something with stock footage, because we don't want that stock footage. We're going to replace it with both our ChatGPT images and our Kling AI animation, because this time around we have animated the whole thing, so we're gonna have some fun here. So earlier in the video you saw me go through the process of copying and pasting my script into ChatGPT to generate images. So since I had already done that in ChatGPT into one text, I went ahead and copied what I already did from ChatGPT and pasted it into use your own script in InVideo.AI. Usually it works. This time around I didn't like it. I had a problem with it, so I ended up just copying directly from my script into InVideo.AI again. Why do I do it piecemeal like this instead of just like copying the whole section of the script and putting it in there? Because it also, when I copy and paste, it also copies in page numbers, for one. Two, just when I try to scroll down, it won't scroll and copy. So I have to just deal with it, okay? This is what I did. So I tried to fix this issue in a few ways. At first I thought the issue was that I copied and pasted my scripts into ChatGPT first, and then copied it from ChatGPT into InVideo AI. In the past, that had worked fine, no issues, but I figured maybe there is something that I am inadvertently copying from ChatGPT into InVideo AI that it's not liking, because for some reason it's not generating. So I tried troubleshooting that and copied directly from my script in as well, and that I got the same error from that. So then I decided to check the versioning of InVideo AI and actually go back a version to see if I was able to copy and paste that way and it would generate that way, and it worked. So this is what this video is all about, right? New versions of products coming out. You try it, you try what you've done numerous times with other versions. You try your old engineered prompts with other versions, and it's great. But these new versions come out and you have to work around them and adjust. So I don't know. I didn't really work around and adjust to this new version that's out with InVideo AI. What I did was I went back a version and used my old technique. But maybe that's something to look into for the future to see what's going on with this new version. Or by the time we get around to doing that, the company might fix whatever glitch is happening with the launch of their new version. So, yep, that's tech.
The intimate setting allows Bailey's emotions to resonate with the audience. Bailey sings, "When I thought this solid land was made for me, it's fluid like the sea." The haunting melody fills the room. A few of those listening are familiar faces in black country music. Holly G and Rissy Palmer listen in the audience. Outside the venue, folks passing by are drawn in by Bailey's performance. The atmosphere is charged with the raw emotion of her music. Bailey sings, "When I thought this solid land was made for me, it's fluid like the sea." The final chords linger in the air as Bailey finishes her song. The room is filled with a poignant silence before erupting into heartfelt applause. Bailey, a mix of emotions on her face, acknowledges the crowd with a grateful smile.
The crowd cheers, but there's a subtle yearning in my eyes.
Surrounded by friends and family, Doc shares laughter and stories at a Thanksgiving dinner. Moss is even at the table.
So as usual, I need to edit my scripts in InVideo AI, because what InVideo AI will do is it will take your script, and even though you have chosen to use your own script, it won't read it word for word. It doesn't really analyze screenplays well either. Well, I won't say it doesn't analyze them well. It does an okay job. It does an okay job, but it doesn't. It's not perfect. Okay, it's not perfect. So you have to go into InVideo AI's editing tool and copy and paste directly again, line for line, to make sure every word and every line is correct in your script. And yeah, that's how you do it. That's how I make my concept videos in the year 2025. What is it, May? Yeah, May.
Enter another bar, night. The intimate setting allows Bailey's emotions to resonate with the audience. Bailey sings, "When I thought this solid land was made for me, it's fluid like the sea." The haunting melody fills the room. A few of those listening are familiar faces in Black country music. Holly G and Rissy Palmer listen in the audience. Ext bar, night. Outside the venue, folks passing by are drawn in by Bailey's performance. The atmosphere is charged with the raw emotion of her music. Intimate venue. Continuous Bailey sings, "When I thought this solid land was made for me, it's fluid like the sea." The final chords linger in the air as Bailey finishes her song. The room is filled with a poignant silence before erupting into heartfelt applause. Bailey, a mix of emotions on her face, acknowledges the crowd with a grateful smile.
Montage. Doc's life without Bailey and Trina World Cafe live, night. Doc commands the stage, his guitar echoing through a lively Philadelphia venue. The crowd cheers, but there's a subtle yearning in his eyes.
Emmer Jackson and Denise's house. Night. Surrounded by friends and family, Doc shares laughter and stories at a Thanksgiving dinner. Moss is even at the table. Moss toasts Doc. Ext, Navy Yard, night. Doc leads Christmas events at the artist community, the vibrant atmosphere of holiday lights, hot cocoa by the fire, and a community gathering for laughter, fun, sports, and music. Ext, Navy Yard River, later. In a quiet moment, Doc stares at the night sky. Int, artist community building, Doc's apartment, night. Alone in his new space, Doc strums his guitar. The chords carry a familiar melody, and in that music, a lonesome ache. He takes a break from playing and moves the compass from the table to a special place on one of his minimalistic shelves. It's displayed similarly to when he first saw it on Moss's shelf. INT, Artist Community Building, Doc's apartment, day. Doc takes out his phone and begins scrolling through Bailey's Instagram. He watches short clips of her performances, the energy of the stage contrasting sharply with the quiet of his new space. The videos tell a story of Bailey's growth, confident performances, a flourishing Instagram following, and a journey captured in squares. End montage. In venue, night. Bailey stands backstage, her heart pounding with the anticipation of another performance on the road. The murmur of the crowd seeps through the walls, a lively prelude to the moment she steps into the spotlight. As Bailey takes a deep breath, Ruth approaches. Ruth, your phone. Bailey grabs the phone and answers. Bailey, hello? It's Nia. Ania through phone. Got a second? Ruth, 10 minutes. Bailey, to phone. I'm about to go on. Let me call you back. Actually, I'll video call you right before and you can watch. This one's pretty special. I'm sharing the stage with a collective called the Black Opry Review.
Ten minutes later, Holly G and a group of African-American Americana musicians take the stage. Artists listed below will be replaced with real musical acts from the Black Opry Review. Bailey sets up her Samsung Galaxy Z Flip phone to capture the performance while video calling Nia. Holly G. Hello, wonderful, gorgeous people out there. How are you all doing this evening? Thank you for coming out to spend your night with us. Black Opry is home for Black artists, fans, and industry professionals working in country, Americana, blues, and folk music. Country and roots music have been made and loved by Black people since their conception. For just as long, we have been overlooked and disregarded in the genre. Black Opry is changing that. The audience applauds, the excitement building. Holly G. I want to introduce you to a collective of artists who weave tales of life, love, and legacy through the timeless threads of country music. First up, we have the incomparable Jasmine Songbird Washington. A spotlight illuminates Jasmine. Holly G. Next, we have a man whose fingers dance across strings like poetry. Malik the Maestro Jones.
Malik steps forward, guitar in hand, a virtuoso ready to serenade the audience.
Interior Doc's apartment. Night. Doc watches a live stream of the Black Opry performance on his phone. He grins, taking in the full stage of Black country music artists. Interior venue. Night Holly G. Now, a soulful duo that captures the essence of harmony. The Harmony Sisters, Lena and Eva. Lena and Eva, radiant in their presence, share a nod as they prepare to enchant. Holly G. Prepare yourselves for the poetic storytelling of Isaac the Balladeer Cole. Isaac steps forward with a hat tilted just right. Holly G. And now, bringing you a fusion of beats and country twang. Ryan Rhythm Rhymer Foster. Ryan steps forward, a hint of mischief in his smile. Holly G. Last but certainly not least, our newest member, Bailey Pleasance. Bailey exudes confidence as she steps into the spotlight. Holly G. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Black Opry Review. The crowd erupts into applause as each performer acknowledges the audience, setting the stage for a night of unforgettable music.
Venue. Night after the show, Bailey video calls Nia through video call. You found your element, B. Embrace it. Bailey. It's been absolutely amazing out here seeing the country. How's Doc?
Exterior Shilekill Banks. Kelly Drive. Doc walks by himself down Kelly Drive.
Ian Artist Community Building. Day Doc sits at a table in the corner of an art gallery, sipping a soda. His gaze drifts across the vibrant artwork, each piece telling a unique story. NIA-VO. He's good. He's the man around town, known for his entrepreneurship with You Guys Navy Yard project. He's developing a few new artists. As he immerses himself in the visual narratives, Doc is joined by the artist, Jean, a soulful creator who has poured passion onto the canvas. Their eyes meet, and a silent understanding forms between them. Jean gestures toward a particular painting, revealing the inspiration behind it. Doc listens attentively, appreciating not just the strokes of the brush, but the emotions embedded in every hue. NIA-VO. You could tell he missed you for weeks, but I think he's found solace in starting a community there. Having a place he can call home, you know? Jean and Doc share a moment of connection, a silent exchange of appreciation. Venue. Night. Bailey listens to Nia's update on Doc. Bailey? To phone. That's good. Bailey's tour bus. Night. The tour bus cruises through the night, the hum of the engine providing a rhythmic backdrop to Bailey's thoughts. Soft lamplight spills over her as she sits at a small table with her notebook and guitar. Bailey gazes out of the window, watching the city lights blur into streaks of color. As she follows the passing scenery of the road with her gaze, her mind is a tapestry of memories, and her imagination overlays the scene in animation. The animation echoes with the laughter of new friends and the applause of distant audiences, as Bailey sits in her quiet moment of introspection. Malik the Maestro Jones winks at Bailey from across the tour bus. Something may take spark. Malik, love the sound of the open road. Tracks in the dust giving shape to the intangible. The soft hum of tires on asphalt and the gentle sway of the bus bring a contented smile across Bailey's face. And Artist Community Building, Doc's apartment day. The vibrant walls adorned with eclectic artworks capture the essence of Doc's settled life in Philadelphia. Jean's artwork is prominently displayed. XT, Artist Community Building, Doc's apartment. Later. Doc stands on his balcony overlooking the Navy Yard ships docked on the river. His gaze is content, a reflection of the peace he's found. XT Bailey's Tour Bus. Sunset. Bailey's tour bus navigates a winding road, the sun dipping below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of tangerine orange and rose pink. Int Bailey's tour bus. Continuous. Bailey sits by the window, her eyes reflecting the ever-changing landscapes outside. The road becomes her canvas as it shifts into animation. Fade out.